What was that? Oh no, I can't drink. Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to address the elephant in the room. Why I can't drink. The short story is COVID, but it's a lot deeper than that. But before we dive into all of that, let me tell you how this is gonna go, because I think we can all agree that this story needs a drink. And for that, today we are gonna be drinking Curious Elixirs, numbers 1 through 4. Curious Elixirs are known for being full of herbs and adaptogens, which are good for helping with stress, building your immunity, just overall well-being. That's why I thought they would be the perfect pairing for my coronavirus story today. So the cocktail pairing today is gonna look a little something like this. Curious number 1, which is a pomegranate Negroni, is gonna pair with my story of how I got COVID. Curious number 2, which is a spicy marg mixed with a dark and stormy, that's gonna pair with how I started to notice that I was having long-term symptoms. Curious number 3 is a floral cucumber Collins with a dash of a French 75. That's gonna pair with what I know about my body this far. And last but not least, we have Curious number 4, which is a Sicilian blood orange green mandarin spritz, which is what we're gonna pair with what this looks like for me in the future and where I go from here. Throughout this video, I'm gonna be giving you my honest reactions. This is the first time that I've tried them. And I'm gonna let you know of some of the health benefits that come from drinking these elixirs. Also, if you are pregnant and you're watching this, I will be letting you know which ones that the company has deemed safe for you to drink. So, woo. But before we get started, if you could please like this video, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're already having some fun, subscribe! Okay, so for Curious number 1, remember it's a pomegranate Negroni.
Oh, baby.
In it, so I got a card from the company that gives me all the deets on it. So in this one we have gentian, rhodiola, bitter orange, and lemon peel. So the gentian is supposed to be antioxidant rich and it helps with digestion. The rhodiola is a mood booster or pick-me-up. And here you can see that I've poured it over ice, and the company recommends that you serve it with an orange twist. So let's give it a try. Cheers. Ooh. That's very, very good. It's not as sweet as you think it's gonna be. It's very pomegranate. It kind of tastes like the Ghia, if you watched my Ghia video. If not, there it is. But yeah, it tastes very similar to that, but it's really good. It's a little bit sweeter than that. Okay, so I was first diagnosed with COVID on December 5th, 2020. I figured out that I had an inkling that I had COVID when I woke up and I went to drink my morning coffee and it just tasted hot. I couldn't smell it, yeah, couldn't taste it. It was really, really freaky. I went in a tizzy, got a rapid test. Of course, it came back positive. Over the 2 weeks I was sick, I don't remember really feeling terrible. All I really remember is being extremely tired and really, really, really dizzy, like stumbling around my house dizzy. I never had a fever, I never had a cough, I never had any troubles breathing. It wasn't the most fun time of my life, but I made it through. After I did my quarantine, I went back to work. I thought everything was sunshine and rainbows. But what's a rainbow without a little rain? Okay, so next is Curious number 2. Like I said before, it is a mix of a spicy margarita and a dark and stormy. And I figured number 2 was appropriate because this is where things start to get a little rocky. Now in number 2, we have ginger, we have pineapple, we have ancho chili, we have damiana, and we have lime. So the ginger helps boost your immunity, much needed, and it helps with digestion. And then the damiana is a Mayan aphrodisiac, and it's used for stress relief. Curious recommends drinking this one on the rocks with a salt rim and a little bit of lime. So let's give it a try. Ooh. Oh, I get the combo now. So there's definitely the spice. This reminds me of the regular house margarita I made last week in my tequila video. Check it out if you haven't, it's very good. So this tastes similar to that. That tastes very, very similar to that. But then you get the ginger, which is why I can see it tastes like a dark and stormy. Oh, that's really good. Okay, so let's fast forward a month to after I thought I fully recovered. So now we're in January of this year. First thing that I noticed was that I was sleeping and I was wheezing when I was sleeping. I went to the ER a bajillion times, and eventually they noticed that when I was active, my oxygen levels were plummeting. Since that was happening, they finally decided to refer me to a cardiologist. While I was waiting for that to roll around, I was at work, and that's when I started noticing that I was actually having trouble breathing. The wheeze was something I could deal with, but not being able to breathe, I can't. A lot of people rely on me. I have to be able to work and not pass out. Clearly, this urgency kicked everything into high gear, and now since then, I've seen 2 cardiologists and a pulmonologist. I've had numerous CT scans of my chest, of my brain. I've had an MRI of my heart. I've had an MRI of my brain. I've had EKGs. I've had an echocardiogram. I had a VQ scan. And then I did a 6-minute walk test. And then for that 6-minute walk test, I had to do another COVID test. Guess what? It came back negative. The latest thing that I had to do was called an ICPET. It's an invasive cardiopulmonary exercise test, which, long story short, they put a catheter in my wrist and one down in my neck. You can probably still see the little mark. Yeah, they put a catheter down into your heart and then throw you on an exercise bike, which, by the way, I was a champ. Thank you. Okay, so now before we dive into what all of that means and what all of that discovered, we're gonna move on to our third drink, Curious number 3. This is meant to be a floral cucumber Collins mixed with a French 75. I've been the most excited to try this one ever since I fell in love with French 75s at Drink up in Boston. If you are up in Boston and you have never been to a Barbara Lynch establishment, do yourself a favor and go. You're welcome. So this one contains juniper, angelica, orange blossom, lemon verbena, and ashwagandha. So the lemon verbena helps with digestion and respiration, which we all know I need a little help with right now. And then the ashwagandha is known to be the Ayurvedic king of the herbs. It's good for your mood and it's good for your memory, which I also need because the post-COVID brain fog is real. So this is the only one where the ingredients clearly state, do not drink this if you are pregnant. It is not safe because of the ashwagandha. So this is just something that you can look forward to when you are no longer pregnant. Again, we have this on the rocks and it is garnished with a lemon peel. Let's see. That's really, really good. It's really lemony, but that's all I really get. Oh, I really thought there'd be more. I I get the cucumber a little bit. I can see why they call it floral, but this tastes very similar to Curious number 1 if you took the pomegranate out. Because there's no sweetness in it like the pomegranate brought to the first one. It's good, but I'm kind of disappointed. Oh well. So at this point in my COVID journey, we have discovered a few things. So the first thing that we figured out is that I actually have blood clots in my lungs. Yes, in my lungs. Because of the blood clots in my lungs, I am on blood thinners, and that is why I cannot drink. I did ask my doctors if I could drink, but since it's such a high dose, because of the severity of the problem, I cannot. I will be on the blood thinners until August, at least. As far as I know, it is August. With this last test that I just did, the exercise test, we discovered that one of the chambers of my heart is, I don't know, underperforming. So that leads the doctors to believe that I have a COVID-induced autonomic disorder.
I don't even know what that means.
Basically what happens is that when my activities go up, just like anybody, when your activity levels go up, your body should respond to that. And also, you know, increase your blood pressure, increase your respiration. It should match your activity. But what's happening with me right now is that as my activities increase, instead of my body matching it, my body's actually just kind of. So for now, I take my blood thinners, I take a heart medication, I have an albuterol inhaler for emergencies, I'm told to drink tons of fluids, to exercise to my ability, which I've been doing the Peloton on a recumbent bike. Video on that to come because it is very interesting, but it's very fun. And now I just have to wait for my next test, but since the nature of the test is very rare, they're hard to come by, and so I don't get that test until September. Okay, so before we dive into what this means for me for the future, let's dive into our last drink, Curious number 4. Remember, this is our Sicilian blood orange green mandarin spritz. In it, we have white grape, amur, ginseng, rhubarb root, holy basil, and turmeric. So the amur, tomato, that is a mood booster pick-me-up. The holy basil is for stress relief, and the turmeric is to help boost your immunity. Has anyone else noticed that the ingredients in these drinks correspond to exactly what I need in my life? If you did, hit that like button, please. So here we have it served on the rocks with a slice of orange. Let's give it a try. Ooh, that's more bitter orange. Well, that's what's in it. But wait, there's not actually any orange in this? Hold on. I guess it does get this awesome color from the turmeric. It must be the combination of all of the botanicals that give it that like orange, that bitter orange taste. It's really good. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. So at this point, we wait. We wait to see what that next test in September confirms. I did ask my doctor if this was gonna be a forever, rest of my life thing. He said it's not, but he did say that an autonomic disorder like this can take 1 to 2 years to go away with medication. I just take each day as it comes. I continue to try all of the non-alcoholic beverages that I can find in the United States, and we go from there. The only things that I'm limited in with this are well, I can't exert myself too much, or I just get really tired. I can't drink, and I can't do anything crazy like stunt-wise. For example, he told me not to go skydiving because if I hit my head, I just can't do that. In terms of the drinks today, I definitely recommend them. I would say if I had to pick the order, I would give number 2 the number 1 spot. So I really liked the Spicy Marg / Dark and Stormy. Then I would put the Pomegranate Negroni, so Curious number 1. Then I would put this one at 3rd, so Curious number 4 would be my 3rd place choice. And then yeah, Curious number 3, who I thought was gonna, hit the home run, would be my last choice. It's fine, I'm still gonna drink the rest of it, but I wouldn't order it on its own. So I really recommend the drinks. You can get them on their website. I know some people have asked what's the caloric value of each drink, so I have that for you. So each bottle contains 2 servings. In Curious number 1 serving has 85 calories. Curious number 2 has 44 calories. Curious number 3 has 15. Of course it has 15. It's my least favorite one, has the least amount of calories. And then Curious number 4 has 25 calories a serving. I hope you liked today's story time. I hope you like this new format that I'm doing. If you have any questions about anything, if you have any questions about the drinks, any questions about COVID, please leave them below. I will get back to you. If you liked this video, please like it, please share it. I think there's a lot of people out there feeling the way that I felt after COVID, and they might not know what to do. So this might help them figure that out. If you want to see more videos like this, I think I'm going to be doing more story times and of course, more drink tastings. I have a ton of stuff over there on the counter that I'm so excited to try with you. I come out with a new video every Sunday. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in.